Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today it's time to have a discussion about low-hanging fruit. Now, this is something that a lot of people ask in forums. I've had people ask this on my contact form, or prospects, ask about what can we do to hit low-hanging fruit when it comes to SEO. What things can we do that are super easy to do that's going to give you quick returns? Now, the thing about low-hanging fruit is everyone's going for it. Everyone's trying to get the low-hanging fruit. And you can definitely go for the low-hanging fruit. You could do things like compress your images and, get on good hosting, sprinkle some keywords in your page titles, H1s, in the body text, and that's definitely important. Add schema markup. But at some point, that low-hanging fruit that everybody is doing becomes no longer a differentiator because everybody's doing it. And it's not going to give you solid returns, and you're going to have to reach a little higher because eventually all this fruit down here, everybody's already got it. Everybody's already got this fruit. And you're going to need to get a ladder or learn how to climb to get the higher hanging fruit. Now, there's four things that you really need to work on if you're going to succeed at SEO, and if you want to rank high for pretty much anything that you put out. You're going to have to do these four things. And low-hanging fruit is not going to cut it. You're going to have to do these four things. Now, low-hanging fruit, great. You want to do that other stuff that I mentioned? It'll help. But four things. You have to have a good-looking site, a site that looks professional. You have to have the right type of content on the page, or the right functionality. You have to get people to the goal completion, the task completion that they came there to do. You have to have a good brand reputation. You have to be developing a bigger brand. And you have to have a very robust link profile. And I'm going to frame this in the way that I frame a lot of things. Think about how Google wants to reward sites. They've been telling you for 12 years now that they want to rank big brands. They said that way back in 2008. Everything that they're doing today in 2019, 2020 is a culmination of that. So think about this in terms of if you were a worldwide enterprise level brand, what would you be doing? Do the technical things, add schema data and to your site and all these things, but everybody's doing that. You could do some of these gimmicky things like Google Sheets, Google stacking, Google stacking. You could get some really crappy, low quality links from a private blog network or article farms or link farms, but that's not going to move the needle. If you are a worldwide enterprise brand, you would have a well-designed site. That's the first thing that I want to stress. That's one of the things that people don't get, is how you present your brand and how you present your company is how people perceive you. So if you have just kind of a slapped together site, doesn't look sharp, people's vision of you and how they're impressed by you is not going to be that great. They're going to look at you as a small business, and small business in the derogatory sense, not in the positive sense. You look at worldwide enterprise level brands, their websites look sharp. They look like it's a big brand, a big company. All right. But yeah, enterprise level brands, they have good looking sites, and any information that they put there, it's going to be presented in a way that looks professional. You can tell that they've invested some time and effort, expertise, skill into building that site. Sorry, we got a visitor. Dogs are barking. The second thing is having the right content. And people talk about search intent. They'll talk about quality of content. But I'm adding something to that in 2020, you have to have the right task completion. People should be able to complete the task that they came there to do, and that's the content is part of that, the functionality in content. So if somebody came to get information, you should have definitive information presented in a way. Maybe you have graphs, maybe you have images, maybe you have videos, but you have things that are presenting information in a way that people find satisfactory. They get what they came for. Maybe they came to buy a product. Then you got to have an e-commerce page. You can't just write an essay about it. If somebody came to buy a product, they don't want to read a blog post about it. They want to buy that product. So analyze what Google is already ranking. That will give you some ideas about what type of content or what type of functionality need to be on that page. All brands in the 21st century are being built on digital content, and it's very true. It used to be back in the day you had books, you had TV, radio, newspapers, and you still have those things. But mostly people have screens that are in front of them all the time. TV is one of those screens, but also you have, Netflix, or you have your desktop computer, you have your tablet, you have your phone. So screens are ever present. People are watching a lot of video, people are reading a lot of things, maybe they're listening to something. You even have screens in your cars sometimes. So be aware that digital content is how people are building their brands. Even long established brands, enterprise level companies are investing in content because they want to keep growing their customer base and they want to keep growing their brand awareness. This is how the biggest brands in the world think. Another thing that we're talking about is reputation, how people perceive your brand outside of your website. If you are trying to rank and you only have one Yelp review and one Google review, that doesn't look like a worldwide brand. It doesn't look like a big global company. A lot of global companies, they don't just only look for reviews on Yelp, Google, Facebook. They have other things that they do to try and get reviews, to try and show Google like, hey, we are important. We're a big global brand. We really invest in all these things to improve our reputation. They do all kinds of things, charity, sponsoring events, all these sorts of things. Maybe they name a stadium. I know you can't do that necessarily at this point, but these are all things that they think about. How do we keep our name at the top of people's minds? Content is one way, but these other things are another way. We were always thinking about our reputation. We're investing in customer service. We're making better products because we want people to believe in our products and our services, in the things that we put out as a brand. We want to have a stellar reputation. The last thing that big global enterprise companies do is they have a robust link profile, mostly because they're putting themselves out there. They've made themselves a household name brand. They're putting out great content that people want to link to and share. They're watching videos, they're reading blog posts, they're reading white papers. They're doing all these things, so you're getting all these links. Now, enterprise level companies, they're not relying on article farms, link farms, private blog networks, Google Stacks. If you say these things as an SEO agency that's pitching your services to an enterprise level company, you're going to be laughed out of the room. Now, do those things work at the local SEO level? They might work a little teeny weeny bit, but they're really sketchy things, and they're really kind of the things that big companies don't want to take a risk on, because the ground can shift on those at any time, because they really are scammy, sneaky, shady ways to build a link profile. The best way to really build a link profile that's solid is to put out value into the world, put out content that helps people, put out information that's helping people, and get people to link to it just on merit. Now, it's going to help if you have friends in other companies, for sure. Of course, that's going to help seed it, because those other people run websites and you can ask for favors. You have strategic partners. I see that all the time in larger companies. They have strategic partners that link to them. But they're doing things to deserve it with the merit of both their content, their brand, and how they help their strategic partners out in the world. So these are things to think about. If you're just getting some $5 links from Fiverr, social bookmarking links, you're getting links from private blog networks and things like that, you're not thinking like a big brand. You're thinking about, how can I scam Google like I did in 1999? And that's not going to last. So those are things that I want you to really think about. Really think like if you were a global enterprise brand, what actions would you be taking? Would you be taking these rinky-dink actions and looking at low-hanging fruit? Sure, that's going to help. But here's the problem. When everybody does that, you need to reach higher. And the things that are hard and difficult to do, the things that are difficult to do at scale, those are the things that you really need to aspire to do in order to separate yourself from the rest of the herd. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO, and I'm here every single day making videos on SEO. Have a comment, leave it in questions below. I would love to answer any questions you have. I'll be back tomorrow making another video for you, and until next time, peace.